Dig it.
Slow drag with remedy. In most creative endeavors, the comments that artists receive from peers and friends alike can oftentimes be helpful and insightful. But there's always that one weird comment that sticks with you the most. My dubious favorite among many is, "I liked the other version better." This, from a world that preaches revision, there's not much useful direction here, just a bit of bewilderment to proceed with. And while it is advised that no one is able to serve two masters, trying to please everyone is typically the goal of this to and fro. When you're a genius poet, however, you take the leftovers of what others can't use and you make a meal of it. That, in part, seems to be one component of how to continually outdo yourself. My name is Remedy, and this is an appreciation. This is an exploration of linguistics, idioms, and revisions as framed by the peerless poetry of the modern-day master, Elvis Costello. Today's slow drag is with Luxembourg from Trust, released in 1981. The songwriting is credited to Elvis Costello. At a scant 2 minutes and 29 seconds, it's nearly 30 seconds longer than its demo, 7 o'clock, written in the R&B style for fellow pub rock veteran Lee Brillo, the lead singer of the band, Dr. Feelgood. 7 o'clock was reportedly received as a, quote, object of scorn by Brillo. And while both songs are recognizable as versions of each other, it's all the better for Trust to have 7 o'clock leftovers. Perhaps this is a good example of how spite is a great motivational tool. Dressed up like a dog's dinner, butter wouldn't melt on your paws. If this is a dog's life, then you're the cat's clothes. There are 3 busted idioms and an original metaphor that pulls this quick-hitting imagery all together nicely. A dog's dinner is slang for a complete mess, so to be dressed up like a mess is vivid in its meaning. The idiom "butter wouldn't melt in the mouth" describes a person who masquerades as innocent or sincere when the opposite is closer to the truth. But the metaphor skews a bit when butter won't melt on the paws. A second line, building upon the first, and then, to drive these doldrums home, the dog's dinner gets a full dog's life, slang for a difficult, or worse, a boring life. This complete mess of a life just keeps getting worse. They hire at your sons and hire out your daughters. The man from abroad says he's already bought her, and now you look like a lover, but you're only a tourist. I've always loved puzzling over these 4 lines, especially "now you look like a lover, but you're only a tourist." Sometimes it's just fun to revel in the ambiguity of it all. You're either talking or yawning. You don't listen to a thing you heard. Don't start your morning moaning, or you might wake up in Luxembourg. After all that, what a great chorus to bring it all home with. How many people could we describe as either talking or yawning? It's a much more eloquent way to describe those who don't listen but who merely wait to talk, frozen with an inhale, all ready to go. You get up, you get over. You're worried about her body. She's worrying about her bodily odor. You pull off the pullover. You say that you love her when you really loathe her. Serves you right now, she wants you to feed her and clothe her. You pull off the pullover, in addition to being a great rhyme, is a clever way to say you've begun taking off your clothes, starting with your sweater. Things are heating up. But the shining star of this verse, of this entire piece perhaps, is the 1-2 punch of "you say that you love her when you really loathe her. Serves you right, now she wants you to feed her and clothe her." Dishonesty never pays, but boy, can it cost. They're smiling sweetly while they're looking daggers, kick you where it really matters. Send all your friends to Coventry and look for your name in last night's obituaries. Oh, these wonderful incongruities. This day has gone from bad to worse. The phrase, something to Coventry, lies somewhere between an idiom and historical British slang. In the 17th century political times, certain prisoners, in particular the king's soldiers, were so detested that they were sent to Coventry as a way of being ostracized. So it's a reference that's come to be understood as deliberately shunning someone. If you've got the Deutschmarks, if you've got the yen, then you get the shirt off her back and the clock off Big Ben. Somebody's soft touch struck all these bargains in the drinking clubs with the councilmen making plans to put lead back in their pencils again. The theme of if you have the money, you can buy anything is rife in this song. And leave it to Mr. Costello to correctly refer to the clock on Big Ben, and the double entendres run rampant in this spirited little piece. All that in less than 3 minutes. It's not often we have the ability to see the wireframe model of a classic muscle car like this, but thanks to 7 o'clock, the sharp-witted Luxembourg built itself on a solid 7 o'clock foundation. But funnily enough, it never makes mention of Luxembourg. Instead, it focuses on a time of day rather than a place. You're either talking or yawning, so don't come around too soon. Don't start your morning moaning until 7 o'clock in the afternoon. My pedantic side wants to cringe at the notion that 7 o'clock is still considered afternoon. Nevertheless, in nearly the same amount of space, Luxembourg's wonderfully catty line, "You say that you love her when you really loathe her, serves you right, now she wants you to feed her and clothe her," started out as, "Tell me why I bother. I've seen enough of her. Now she wants me to feed her and clothe her." But the clever wordplay was evident from the very beginning. "You got me in stitches. Stitch me up this time, from urges to itches. Start to reply to this girl of mine." The double meaning of stitch carries over from this first version quite nicely, even though these lines aren't in the polished version that you see on Trust. In stitches, laughing, and stitched up, placing the blame on someone else. Maybe this is one and the same activity. I call up, I call over. Supposed to be a slap up. Now I wish she'd wrap up, worrying about her bodily odor. A dog's dinner is a far cry from a slap up, a large, elaborate meal. Many poets might make these original lines precious. They might try to keep their meaning intact to the point that they'd never think to go on an entirely different direction with it, let alone have the dexterity to keep the same ethos intact in the process. These revised lines take treasured moments and twist them inside out so beautifully. This kind of artful rebellion reminds me of something I heard about the Mighty Like a Rose era, something about how it scared people when Elvis Costello grew out his hair and his beard, so he grew them longer. Please refer to the music video of The Other Side of Summer for a visual confirmation of this comical rebellion. In tracing the beginnings of Luxembourg to 7 o'clock, we're given a rare glimpse into fearless acrobatic writing. The original, as mentioned, was met by scorn by Lee Brillo. According to the Trust liner notes, Brillo took one look at the lyrics, then asked, "What's this then, Shakespeare?" Brillo, the Dr. Feelgood frontman, died in 1994 at the age of 41. That gave him 12 years to see just how dense and complicated this modern-day Shakespeare really could get. You think this is Shakespeare? I'll show you Shakespeare.
Dig it.
Again, this has been a slow drag with Luxembourg from 1981's Trust. It's not the most optimistic or nuanced group of idioms and turns of phrases in Mr. Costello's canon. It's a blur of imagery, however, that has a much different feel as it flies by in 2 minutes and 29 seconds, as opposed to a careful line-by-line consideration. This dissonance has become a hallmark of so much of Mr. Costello's work. It's delightfully stubborn, spiteful, and mischievous. Thank you so much for finding this appreciation, this exploration of linguistics, idioms, and the revision process as framed by the peerless poetry of the modern-day master, Elvis Costello. Please check the show notes for links to the actual songs, both Luxembourg and 7 o'clock, as well as links to references made in this episode, including the Other Side of Summer video. There's a companion blog with a transcript and other useful references for your convenience. A YouTube version of this episode will be up later this week. It's a visual guide to the poetry that you can read as we go along. Please follow Slow Drag Remedy on Twitter for updates, previews, and more links. And as always, thank you for listening all the way to the very end. I'd love to hear from you. Please get in contact with suggestions, comments, or interpretations of your own. Each episode is meant to be a standalone look at each song that is credited solely to Elvis Costello. My strategy has been to highlight one song from each album first. As I record this, there are only 4 albums left that meet the slow drag criteria: Armed Forces, Secrets, Profane, and Sugarcane, This Year's Model, and of course, My Aim is True. If you have a favorite song from any of these works that you'd like to have a slow drag with, please let me know. I'll be happy to include your thoughts and observations as well. You know, this little appreciation train is really starting to pick up speed, so please subscribe, give us a good rating and a review on Apple Podcasts, and share with other language lovers. It means the world. Thank you so very much. So, until next time, adieu, my little ballyhoo. Slow drag with Remedy.